Hi, my name is Angeli, and welcome to Tips at 3 with Chia. I am the event manager for Chia, and I'm very excited to be here today to talk to you. Um, how much time should it really take to do your school at home? Now, whether you've been homeschooling for a while, just starting out, or you are doing this in the interim, doing school at home, this is something important for you, and hopefully you'll get some good information from it. I have my master's in education, and I was actually teaching in schools for a few years before I decided to start homeschooling. So I do have some expertise in this area. When you think about your children are there from 6 to 8 hours, the thing that I hear from a lot of moms is, how do I teach my kids for 6 hours? The most important thing to remember is even though your kids are in school for 6 to 8 hours, they aren't sitting at a desk learning that entire time. There are a lot of extra things going on besides the obvious going to and from classes, going on recess, lunch. There are also breaks within the classroom. Most lessons are about 50 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on grade and type of school that you're in. And usually the teacher will take 10 to 20 minutes to explain a lesson. The remainder of the time, the additional 30 minutes, 40 minutes, is spent for the teacher to walk around the room, answer questions, and make sure that every child grasps the information. For a lot of children, they get done really quickly. I had so many kids that would be done with the worksheet or done with the work assigned and be sitting at their desks. Teachers usually have books or other assignments or something to work on quietly while the teacher finishes working with the other students. So how much time should it take? It depends on the subject and the child. If you sit down with your child on math and it takes them 10 to 15 minutes to finish the lesson, they get the concept right away, they get through it, you're done. There is no need to make it go on for the whole 50 minutes or any amount of time. Once the child has completed the assignment, they're good to go. There's no reason to try to add more to it unless the child is asking for more. The child is asking for more or wanting to do more, absolutely. Let them do as much as they want. I think kids that thrive on that should definitely be given the opportunity to do that. If you are sitting there and you and your child are getting frustrated and they are not grasping the concept, please do not force them to sit there until they get it. You sit there, you work with them, and after 30, 40 minutes, if you both are butting heads, you need to take a step back and reassess the situation. Decide if it's not working, maybe there's another way you can explain this to your child so that they can get it. I can promise you, sitting there and just butting heads, your child will never get it. And they will be frustrated and they'll leave. They will yell, scream. They just won't enjoy it. So if the way that you were trying to teach isn't working, step back and look at other methods that might be helpful. So in our house, the one thing growing up, my mom would take me, I went to public school, and when I would have tests, my mom would take me out to lunch. We'd go to Nordstrom's Cafe, and she would help me study tests. And she would always give me fun ideas or fun limericks to remember the information for the tests. And I always did really well. And I always remember that. She made it fun. She took me somewhere different. We didn't sit with books around us and sitting in a confined space. We were at, now, right now, I know you can't do that, but we were at a restaurant. But you can change where you are at the home. It doesn't have to be at a desk. It doesn't have to be at the dining table. It can be on your couch. It can be outside. When beaches are open again, you can take them to the beach. I've taken my kids to the beach to sit there so that there's a different view because that can help the attitude a lot. So there are some fun books that you can find. This is just one that I have, Eating Fractions. If you have a kid that's starting out to learn fractions, use food. Okay, this book shows you cutting a muffin into thirds. They have cutting a banana into halves. So teaching your kids fractions using food is a fun way to learn that. So lower elementary age, second, third grade, you can ask them to help you divide a cake up into eighths or a banana into halves to share. So some fun things like that. If you have older kids and if they like to cook, a fun thing to do is to give them a recipe and ask them to cut it in half. You don't even need to tell them that you're doing math. You just give them a recipe and say, okay, I need half of this. And then they can work through it for themselves. Of course, you want to be there to answer questions. You could also double a recipe, and then they have to learn to add fractions, right? 3/4 of a cup plus 3/4 of a cup. How do they figure that out? It's a fun way to change it up on them. I have a lot of fun math books because math is not the favorite subject around here, but there's just some great ones like Mind Stretching Math Riddles. And so they make riddles, and you can do this yourself. If you're creative, or if you know somebody creative, ask them to come up with some fun riddles about math. Like this one: my life has taken quite a turn. I used to be a lowly worm. Now I spread my wings and fly. Look how cool I bug I am. Am I? Sorry. How many dots adorn these wings? See what clever thinking brings. There is a mate for every one. Make groups of 10 and you'll be done. So you'll see they have all of the dots on the butterflies, and the kids have to make groups of 10 of them. So just, again, fun things that you can do. I love these. These are called Mary's Words. We've had them at convention before, and I think you can find them online. But these are for older kids. It helps them study for the SAT. So you can see you have a hamper here. Okay. And so to help with the spelling, now this is a very easy one. They get harder and they have harder ones. So it's a picture with a dirty hamper. Okay. And then on the back, they give you the definition, and then they give you a sentence. The hamper of dirty laundry fell from the moving truck and hampered the flow of traffic. So it helps them with vocabulary and spelling. So it's really fun. It's a great way and to help teach kids, a great resource for those kids that are very visual learners. I love these. I think it's a great idea. Another fun thing we do is I have Brain Quest. I like these question cards. It's a way to ask them questions and have some fun. My kids, it becomes a game for them because they try to see who can do it better, who can grab the most cards, who gets the most right. And so it becomes a fun thing, and I learn from them too. And the biggest thing is that you're learning alongside your kids. And so you want to make it fun. The goal is to make lifelong learners, not children that dread school, dread work, dread anything. You want to make them excited to learn, excited to see what is out there. And the way you do that is you make learning fun. You don't sit and cram it down their throats until they can't take it anymore. You have to make it fun. And I have one son who I am still working with him. He's in 8th grade. And it's a constant challenge, but it's a good challenge. And it helps me learn different ways to teach him, because he is not I'm going to sit and read the books kind of learner. So it's a blessing that you get to be home with your kids. You get to have this time to study your kids. You need to become a master of your kids, master of who they are and what makes them tick and how they learn. And now you have the time to do that. So anyway, I really encourage that. Just one more thing that I do. I used to do it in the schools, and I do it with the kids, my kids, is I make up cadences or songs that they can sing or recite when they march. And so I used to do this in schools. We would walk around the campus and recite these like a marching drill. So I'll give you a little, I can't remember the whole thing. It's been 12 years since I've done this in the schools, but like this one, I haven't used it in a long time, but it's rocks, rocks. There are 3 kinds of rocks: metamorphic, sedimentary, igneous rocks. And it goes to the left, 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 right, left. And so you march around, you can march around your house to do things like that. You can do fun songs. Just take whatever they're learning and make something fun out of it. And that's what my mom taught me. And that's what she always did with me. And it always made learning fun. Any facts that they have to learn, come up with something silly, some silly way to remember it. Just like Italy is the shape of a boot, right? We all remember that. You can come up with something for anything. I homeschooled my older cousin for a while. She was in high school, and I would give her fun things. And sometimes they were funny and ridiculous and they made no sense, but she remembered them when she went to take her test because they were so ridiculous. So our memories are funny that way. And you can think of a lot of fun things to do. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and join us again tomorrow for Tips at 3. Bye.